The Great Barrier Reef is a global treasure. It is the world's largest living structure. It stretches over 2,300 kilometers along Australia's northeast coast. This magnificent reef system is home to a dazzling array of marine life. Thousands of species of fish, corals, and other creatures depend on the reef for their survival. The Great Barrier Reef is also an important economic asset for Australia. It attracts millions of tourists each year, generating billions of dollars in revenue. However, this natural wonder is facing an unprecedented crisis. Climate change, pollution, and other human activities are taking a heavy toll on the reef's health. Scientists have been warning for years that the Great Barrier Reef is in danger. Their warnings have become increasingly urgent in recent times. The latest research paints a grim picture of the reef's future. The Australian Institute of Marine Science, or AIMS, has been monitoring the health of the Great Barrier Reef for almost 40 years. Their latest findings are alarming, to say the least. The AIMS survey shows that the reef has suffered its most extensive coral die-off on record. This is a major blow to the reef's ability to recover from previous bleaching events. The future of the Great Barrier Reef is uncertain. However, one thing is clear: we need to act now to save this global treasure. The AIMS survey was conducted in 2023. It covered 12 key reef sites. The results of the survey are shocking. Some areas have lost up to 72% of their coral cover. This is the highest coral mortality rate ever recorded on the Great Barrier Reef. The northern and central sections of the reef were hit particularly hard. These areas experienced severe coral bleaching in 2022. This was the fourth mass bleaching event in just 7 years. The bleaching was caused by unusually warm water temperatures. The corals were unable to cope with the stress of the heat and expelled the algae that live in their tissues and provide them with food. The loss of coral cover has a devastating impact on the entire reef ecosystem. Corals are the foundation species of the reef. They provide food and shelter for a wide variety of marine life. When corals die, the entire ecosystem suffers. Fish populations decline and other marine animals lose their habitat. Coral bleaching is a serious threat to coral reefs around the world. It occurs when corals are stressed by changes in their environment. The most common cause of coral bleaching is rising water temperatures. Other stressors include pollution, overfishing, and ocean acidification. When corals are stressed, they expel the symbiotic algae that live in their tissues. These algae, known as zooxanthellae, provide the corals with their vibrant colors and are essential for their survival. Without zooxanthellae, the corals turn white and become more susceptible to disease. If the stress is relieved, corals can recover from bleaching. However, if the stress continues, the corals will eventually die. Mass coral bleaching events are becoming more frequent and severe due to climate change. This is a major concern for the future of coral reefs around the world. Section 4. Climate change, the driving force. Climate change is the biggest threat to the Great Barrier Reef. The burning of fossil fuels is releasing greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These gases are trapping heat and causing the planet to warm. The oceans are absorbing most of this excess heat. As the oceans warm, the water becomes more acidic. This is because the ocean absorbs carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. When carbon dioxide dissolves in water, it forms carbonic acid. This acidification makes it difficult for corals to build their skeletons. Climate change is also causing more extreme weather events, such as cyclones and floods. These events can damage coral reefs and make it harder for them to recover from bleaching events. The Australian government has been criticized for its inaction on climate change. Australia is one of the world's largest per capita emitters of greenhouse gases. However, the government has been slow to transition to renewable energy sources. In recent years, there has been some progress on climate action in Australia. The government has committed to achieving net zero emissions by 2050. However, many experts believe that this is not enough. They argue that more needs to be done to reduce emissions in the short term. Section 5. The future of the reef. The future of the Great Barrier Reef is uncertain. However, there is still hope. If we act now, we can reduce the threats to the reef and give it a fighting chance of survival. There are a number of things that can be done to save the Great Barrier Reef. We need to reduce our emissions of greenhouse gases. We need to improve water quality, and we need to manage fishing and tourism sustainably. The Australian government has a key role to play in protecting the Great Barrier Reef. However, everyone has a part to play. We can all make changes in our own lives to reduce our impact on the environment. The Great Barrier Reef is a global treasure. It is a symbol of the beauty and diversity of our planet. We must do everything we can to save it for future generations.